Hello, welcome to the Travel Agent Success Series. This is the show that is for travel agents that are creating success, looking for success, and sharing their successes. It's a weekly series created specifically for aspiring travel agents that are wanting to learn how to be a travel agent and how to grow their travel business and do so successfully. Today's our first kickoff series to the Travel Agent Success Series. Yay! I know, I'm so excited. So we are so excited to be here to kick off this weekly series where we'll come to you live every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. I am Shannon Cunningham, Gifted Travel Networks. I was about to say travel agent, Gifted Travel Networks.
Take one half off and put the other half
right.
on.
Membership and engagement and engagement specialists. And I have with me Sandy. Sandy, tell us what you do.
So I'm Sandy Saburn, and I am Vice President of Membership with Gifted Travel Network. And I'm super excited to be here with Shannon to focus on this series and to share so much information with you. We're going to have a great time.
We are. It's going to be fun coming to people every week and telling them about getting in this exciting industry. You and I both have this industry in our blood. We can't get it out of us. You know, we're very passionate about the travel industry. We're both passionate about helping travel agents and people who want to join this industry.
Yes.
And so that's why it's such a fun collaboration between the two of us.
Yes.
Because we get to share this passion and share the knowledge that we have. And we won't say how many years.
Just a lot. We'll just say
a lot. We're very savvy. Very smart, very wise.
Even though we're only 30, we've been doing this for a long time.
Yes. So we're excited to be here. We're excited to come to you every week and talk about what it takes to become a travel agent. And if you're already a travel agent, how you can take it to the next level, right?
Exactly. And be more successful because, as you said earlier, Shannon, travel is something that just gets in your blood. And once you start working in this industry, it just becomes a part of you. And there are a lot of people interested in getting into it. There are a lot of people already into it that could have more success, and we want to help both groups.
Yeah, so this is a fun classroom style, if you will, even though it's not really classroom style, but we hope that you take away some education and some inspiration and maybe even laugh with us a little bit because that's something else we like to do.
Yes. Life's too short not to have fun. So we try to have fun whenever
so we've got people watching. If you're watching with us live, please comment below. Give us some likes and love, some little heart buttons. We appreciate that. And tell us where you're watching from. Because we're coming to you. Sandy is at the home office. Well, at her home office in the home headquarters of Mooresville, North Carolina.
Yes, the power went off in our company office. But thankfully, working from home for the last, however many months, we've all got home offices. So I'm at home where we still have power.
Yes.
In North Carolina, in Mooresville, which is just north of Charlotte, North Carolina, on Lake Norman.
Beautiful. And I'm in Prairieville, Louisiana. So that's the wonderful thing about our industry is you can be remote. You can be you can be working with clients as a travel agent in another state, in another country. And that's the beauty of being a travel advisor, especially in today's age.
Yes, because a lot of the people who were already in this industry, when things started happening, they just picked up their laptop and their tools and they moved to some new location, either for a short period of time or for a longer period of time, because you can live the laptop lifestyle and do this from anywhere. As long as you can get an internet connection, you're in great shape.
Exactly. And that's one of the things, with one of the reasons why we're starting this series is because we're seeing an influx happening. We're seeing a lot of people want to become travel agents because with the pandemic, some people were furloughed and lost their jobs, or they decided, hey, maybe I can find a career that I like a little bit better and work from home. So we're seeing a big influx. So why don't you touch a little bit more on that, Sandy?
Sure. So one of the things that we had seen in 2019, 2018, there was a steady stream of people who were interested in getting into the travel industry. They were really looking for a way to in some cases, they were looking for a way to marry their passion for travel with their career. In some cases, they were looking for a job that allowed them to work from anywhere. So people who relocated often, we see this with military spouses. If they're having to relocate, they want something they can have some continuity with. Some people just really valued having their own schedule, control over their own schedule, their own time, and they wanted to do their own thing, and they were getting into travel. And we saw an increasing demand for travel advisors from the general public over 2018, 2019. Then the pandemic hit. And one of the things that happened was a lot of people realized, I might have booked this trip online.
Oh, I think Sandy froze up. They do have that storm going through. So yeah, so she was talking about how people were, realizing that they can become a travel agent, and they were doing this already. They were doing it as a hobby. They were seeing what was happening.
Oh, there I am.
There you are.
I have no idea what happened there.
I don't know. I figured it was the weather passing through. So
yes, we are getting rain from Hurricane Elsa. Thankfully, it's not snow, but sorry about that. So I was saying that one of the things that we saw was these people who booked online were very unhappy with that experience. And so they have many of them have said, when I travel again, and they are traveling now, I am going to work with a travel agent. I am not going to do this myself. And there's already a lot of people who value the services of a travel agent. So there's a lot of benefit to getting into the industry now, even because we're part of Gifted Travel Network is part of a bigger organization called Virtuoso, which is the leading travel industry organization focusing on luxury travel. And so it's a network of travel agencies and travel suppliers all over the world. And in the US, in just about a year, in the last year, Virtuoso had more than 200,000 people reach out to them and say, hey, I really need a travel advisor. Can you connect me with someone? So there are far more people looking for travel advisors than there are travel advisors to serve those clients. So bottom line, there is a tremendous demand, continues to grow. And I really think, when Shannon, you and I have talked about this, I really think we're entering what will be a golden age for travel advisors.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be like we haven't seen it, and we've been in the industry for a while. Mm-hmm. And it's good to see it this way again for travel advisors. There is the term pent up demand is true. Mm-hmm. I was in the airport. I've been in the airport a lot lately. I've been on a lot of international trips.
You've been a lot of fun places.
Yeah, a lot of fun places. And I'm not by myself anymore. The airports are packed. The planes are packed. The resorts are packed. People are ready to go. And they're going.
Beyond ready to go.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that everywhere.
Yeah, the flights aren't even back to capacity yet. Their fleets are not back up to capacity. They don't have the schedules like they used to. So once they get that in the works, the demand is going to be through the roof.
It is. And having somebody to help you navigate all of that is super, super important. And that's where the travel agent comes in. And so a lot of people love that, having somebody who knows and knows what it is supposed to be like. So we're very
There's a lot of questions people have.
Yes.
And yes, there is Google. There's the Google you can get some answers from. Mm-hmm. But I'm seeing a lot of advisors that are having clients being misinformed about, the health visas and things like that, which to go into another country, most of the time it's free. But there are some scammers out there. I hate to think that people are taking advantage of other people. But some of these people are thinking, they're getting calls from people that didn't book with them and said, hey, I'm trying to go to this country and it's telling me I got to have $80 to fill out a health visa. So there's so much misinformation out there, but
There
travel
is.
advisors are staying on top of it, especially GTN travel advisors.
And it's not just that there's a lot of misinformation out there. It's that it changes every day.
Yes.
Every single day it's changing. There's something happening all the time. And one place adds and one place subtracts, and this tweaks and this adjusts. So you really need somebody on your side who is paying attention to all of this, and to make sure that you know what you need to know, and so that your travel is protected and you don't have to worry about headaches.
Right, right. So we know people want to travel.
Yes.
And we know people are starting to travel, and they're calling places like Virtuoso to see, how do I get in touch with a quality travel agent? How do I get in touch with this professional?
Mm-hmm.
So how do we do that? How do we become a professional travel advisor at higher standards, where we can have the best clientele and have the type of business that we really enjoy having, and the clients that we love working with? How does somebody wanting to become a travel advisor, how do they do that?
Well, I think one of the things that's frustrating for people about the travel industry is there's no clear-cut path. There's no, you have to take this course, take this test, pass this exam, and then you can put yourself out there. The travel agent community is in large part unregulated. And so what that means is there's a low barrier to entry. And unfortunately, that means there's a lot of people out there who at 9 o'clock this morning weren't travel agents, and at 2 p.m. this afternoon, they are travel agents. And so that's one of the reasons why you're starting to see over the past few years, you've started to see the term travel advisor instead of travel agent, because travel advisors are another caliber of individual. They have a different level of expertise. They have a different level of service that they provide. And they typically have a much stronger network. And that network is really critical for the traveling public. It means that they're part of something larger than themselves. So we have 375 about travel advisors that are affiliated with Gifted Travel Network. They all have their own businesses, their own brands. And then we, as Gifted Travel Network, are part of Virtuoso, which is an even bigger organization. And so it means that if something goes wrong, you have somewhere to go. So I think when people are out looking for a travel advisor or travel agent, they need to ask questions about how long they've been doing it. Now, somebody who's been doing it for 20 years is not necessarily somebody is not necessarily better than somebody who's been doing it for 20 months. Just that length of time is not the only determining factor. It's what they specialize in, what their expertise is, because somebody who's a generalist who does everything and anything is not as much in demand, and typically not as well connected as somebody who has a specialty. So if you want to get into the industry, there's a lot of great resources out there. And we've done a number of trainings that you can find on Facebook. In if you go to the videos section, you can find videos that we've done on this topic. The real key thing is there's a lot more to learn than you think there is. I talk to people all the time who say, well, I've been planning my own travel for years, so there can't be that much more to learn. There are companies you've never heard of as a consumer. There are tools that you've never heard of as a consumer. There's just so many things that as a consumer you don't even know exist that you need as a travel advisor. So there is a lot to learn, and you have to recognize that. And so affiliating with an organization, whether it's a host agency or a brick and mortar agency, or even a franchise, there's lots of different paths to go. Mm-hmm. And it just depends on what your preference is. I mean, if you want to have your own thing and have your own brand, then you're probably going to need to be with a host agency. If you really want to use somebody else's brand and don't mind paying for it, then maybe a franchise is better for you. There's pros and cons to everything. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of research. And we usually encourage people to start at hostagencyreviews.com. But I think the biggest caveat is please ask good questions, and please don't take everything at face value, because there are a lot of multi-level marketing companies out there that, yeah, they have travel in the name and they say they're part of travel, but what they really are is multi-level marketing companies. And so if you want to recruit your friends and family to be part of your organization and you make money on what they do, that's a whole different thing than travel. They just happen to be in travel.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of learning the terminology, the how to book, the where to book, the ins and outs of COVID protocols and everything else that's travel intricated, you have to learn how to market your business.
Exactly.
You have to learn how to be a business person and run a business and have processes. And you just don't know that until you sit in that seat and say, oh, well, I booked a trip, but now what? Now, where's the next one going to come from? Or the phone just doesn't ring automatically. So you've got social media, which is a great marketing tool, networking, email marketing. There's so many marketing practices that you can do, but which one's right for you?
You're right, Shannon. And when I got into this industry 20 plus years ago, what worked then some of that works now, but most of it doesn't. Most of it doesn't even apply anymore. Right. And you're right. The majority, and this is a literal number from research that has been done, 90% of, and it's probably now a little more than 90% of the people who are working as travel agents or travel advisors are independent contractors. They have their own business. They're not getting a paycheck. They're not an employee of an agency. They have their own business, 90% literally. So that means if you're going to get into the travel industry, you are going to be an independent business owner. And you do have to learn how to market yourself. And there are lots of things that you can do that work really well that didn't even exist 5 years ago. So there's just so much to learn. I think people underestimate how much there is. And I don't say that I don't want to scare anybody, but I want you to know what you're getting into if you decide that this is for you, because we call this Travel Agent Success Series because we want people to be successful. There's a lot of need in our industry for more people who are good and passionate and professional and skilled, but you got to know what you're getting into, and it's not right for everybody. If you're looking for a quick side hustle or a quick way to make money, travel is not it.
Right.
It's a long game.
Yeah. You made me have a flashback talking about how things were done then when you worked at a travel agency is where they are now. For some reason, you made me reminded me that I used to have to change the sign out at the road with the cruise special of the week, like go put in the letters. So I was doing engagement work then.
Yeah, just a different kind of engagement.
Right on Airline Highway 61 for everybody that passed to see, to let them know what was happening.
Right, what the special was. And one of my first jobs after I was an agent for a while, then I went to work in marketing for an agency, and I had to come up with we're telling our age now, Shannon, but there used to be a travel section in the newspaper. Yeah. And so we had a full page ad in the travel section of the newspaper in Charlotte. And so we had to work with our vendors and get all the specials and put all this stuff in there. And that was a lot of work. And nobody does that anymore because that's not what works. People aren't looking for the deals and the specials and all that. What they want is the very best value that they can get for their vacation budget without having to spend 40 or 50 or 60 hours planning it.
Yeah. They don't want the headache. And this is of course we were telling saying our age by talking about what we did back in the day. Mm-hmm. But it also shows that going with the flow, that you and I have rolled with the punches. We've made the changes. We've, become that chameleon and changed to the nature of the industry. And that is what makes us a successful travel advisor. When you
Mm-hmm.
go with those changes, when you accept the new way things are done, then that's what helps you grow and have success in your business.
You're
And
right.
I was in the advisor seat not too long ago. I just moved over to staff with GTN and working with the advisors firsthand. But I know, you have to make changes, and you have to accept that things are going to change. You can't say, but this is how I do it. And it's
Mm-hmm.
because I found a company and a host agency that's doing the same thing, that's learning the new ways and staying ahead of the game and forward thinking, that I was able to grow and be a successful travel advisor in today's age, not back
Right.
then.
You're right. That's a really good point, because I see this all the time. When I first got into the industry, I noticed how gray it was. There was a lot of older people, and there was not a lot there was not a lot of newer people coming into the
Right.
industry. And part of that was just because of the way you had to go to travel school and you had to learn this complicated system called GDS, which stands for Global Distribution System. We could do an entire show on acronyms and on jargon in the travel industry. And so there were a lot of people who they didn't want to change. And there's a lot of people who left the industry because they just did not want to change and adapt. But there's so much opportunity now for people who want to get into the industry to learn to do things the right way, to be able to see what the opportunities are, and to create their own niche even within the industry. And I think, and Shannon, you and I have talked about this, I think over the next probably 5 years, we're going to see some huge changes in our industry as far as improving technology. And there's just a lot of things I think that will be even better for people who work in the industry in the next 5 years than there even are now. So I want people to leave this first episode of our new show knowing that the travel industry, working as a travel agent or travel advisor, is alive and well and thriving. There are a lot of people who are getting into this who love it. It's not for everybody, but it is for some people, especially if you have this entrepreneurial desire and you really want to do your own thing.
Yeah. And so you talked about, the part-time or the side hustle and the entrepreneurs. So a lot of entrepreneurs dabble in all kinds of things, and they're like, okay, so travel's the next best thing. Is this like really, can you really do this full time? Can you really make a living off of this? Or is it something that's just going to be a side hustle?
You absolutely can make a living off of it, but you have to do it the right way. And I see this all the time when I talk to people. There's kind of two schools of thought for this when you're getting into the industry. There's one school of thought that says, get into travel, do anything and everything, book anything and everything, doesn't matter, just do it all, and then figure out what it is that you like to do, and then focus on that. The other side, and this is what I believe in, is that the riches are in the niches. And if you really want to make money, if you really want to leave your full-time job, whether you're making 30, 40, 100, $150,000 a year in salary, and you want to replace that with your travel business, you need to specialize. You need to be focused. You need to have a very clear business plan on what it is that you want to do and so that you know how you can earn those dollars. So I think that starting with a focus and a specialty in the beginning and is important. And I often use the restaurant analogy. You could open a restaurant and be like a diner and have hamburgers and spaghetti and breakfast and steak and seafood and everything else. Or you can open a restaurant that focuses on one particular type of cuisine. And the specialty is a lot easier, and you're going to make a lot more money. It makes your marketing easier. It makes getting the word out there easier. You can still book anything you want to, but it's just an important step to take. And that's where I see most people getting into the industry, and when they go that generalist route, those people make a lot less money. But you can absolutely replace your salary with the money you make from your travel business, but you can't do it just haphazardly. You have to be focused and you have to have a business plan.
And it doesn't happen overnight.
It does not happen overnight. The way the travel industry works, it's a long game. And so there's some money that you make up front from fees that are paid by your clients. And then there are commission payments that happen when the trip happens. So if you're working with a client who is today, who's traveling in August of next year, you're not going to see that money till September of next year. So it takes a while to build up that cash flow.
Yeah. And that's what we're going to be talking about. All of these things we just covered, we're going to be going over on
and whatever anybody wants to talk about. Tell us. We'll talk about it.
Let us know what you want to hear in the Travel Agent Success Series. Put your comments below. I see Craig's watching from Baltimore. Hey, Craig, good to see you watching with us again today. I don't want to mispronounce your name, but watching from Romania.
Awesome.
Beautiful. That's exciting. Country. Yes. Beautiful Thank country. You for watching with us. So, yeah, let us know what are your questions about joining the travel industry or changing the way you're doing your business if you're already in the travel industry. What are some changes you want to see in your business? What do you want to do? How do you want to take your business to the next level? How do you want?
What are your pain points? What questions do you have? And you can also email us too. You could email us at joinus@giftedtravelnetwork.com. Just send us an email and say, hey, on a future episode, could you talk about this? Or I'm trying to decide A or B. What do you think? Because I guarantee you, between Shannon and myself, we have an opinion on everything. So and we will share the pros and cons with you. And we will bring to it our considerable experience in the travel industry and seeing how it works for other people, and tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly of whatever it is you want to know about.
Yes, we're happy. We're here to help. We're so excited and want to help so much so that we're going to come here every week and bring you interviews with travel agents in our community that are successful, that are doing things in a way that has brought them more success. We're going to talk about what it takes, like what technology you need, what you need to learn. Each week we're going to have a different topic. Sometimes you'll get the both of us, and sometimes it'll be just one of us hosting the show and talking with you. And we want you here. We want you to join in and put your comments in below. Give us the likes. If you're watching the replay, you can still comment, still add your questions, because we're going to monitor the videos and come back and answer any questions so you can have the answers that you need to make a decision.
That's right.
Want to enter or not.
That's what we want to do, is we just want to share information so that people know what works, what doesn't work, answer questions. We just we're here to try to be helpful and to make life easier for those of you who are considering this industry.
Yes, and it is a wonderful industry. I was in it for a few years, and then I got out of it for a few years, and then I had to get back in it because it's like, back into travel. Yeah, you can't leave it. It's
right.
I don't want to say it sucks you in, but it draws you in so much, and there's just so many facets to travel that makes life exciting. Mm-hmm. And I see that with the travel advisors, and especially in the Gifted Travel Network community, that their passion for travel, but it's more than the passion for travel. It's the passion for helping people.
Yes. Yeah. The community, no matter how you move forward in this industry, community is so very important, because the people who try to do this completely on their own are not nearly as successful as the people who are part of some other bigger community. And there's lots of different forms that can take, whether it's a host agency or a consortia or whatever. There's lots of different ways you can do it, but there's a great community. There are lots of great communities out there, and everybody should be part of one. Yes.
So we're excited to come to you. Sandy will be here with you next week. Mm-hmm. Today, we just kind of wanted to kick things off and let you know what we're going to be doing, why we're doing it, who we want to see here. We want to see you. Invite people that you know that might be interested in this
Please.
type of career change or up-leveling their career as a travel advisor. Email us at joinus@giftedtravelnetwork.com if you have any questions, any comments. We are very open and would love your feedback and just want to talk with you. And that's it for today. That went by fast, Sandy.
It does go by fast, doesn't it? Because it's so much fun. So
it is. So thanks everybody for watching the Travel Agent Success Series. And we look forward to seeing you next week. So here's to your success.
bye.
Bye, everyone.